Hello, everyone, and welcome to round number 2 of the 2022 Maricopa Open, presented by the Disc Shack. We're moving courses, heading over to Maricopa Meadows, and our leader, Anthony Barela, is out in front of Adam Hammes. Also joining the card is a fellow Arizonian in Herr. And rounding out the card, we've got Jacob Gonzales coming out of California. Again, round 2, front 9, actually front 10. But I'm joined by Nick Newton yet again. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Awesome, Terry. I'm super pumped to be here. Thank you for having me. This is definitely one of my favorite courses in Arizona from freshly moving here. And I'm super pumped to see these guys play in much better conditions today. Yesterday was definitely a struggle bus.
The wind was the number one word that we talked about. And today, very, very calm out there. You're going to feel something, maybe a little 5 to 10 at most, but Anthony Barela, he's been out in front of plenty of tournaments, especially here in Arizona. He's at 2 under and taken to hole 1.
Yeah, he's throwing a forehand here. Definitely a very common play for all the open division. If you got that easy 280 distance forehand, it's pretty much your go-to.
Not too surprising then. We see Adam Hammes do the same.
Just short of the basket, putting himself nicely in the circle.
I've seen AJ a number of years, him and his brother. Every time I come to Arizona, I feel like I'm filming one of them, sometimes even both.
Yeah, they're definitely a staple in the Arizona community. I'm really pumped to say that I live in the same town as them and get to play with them quite often, and they're definitely solid players, and you're going to see that today for sure.
AJ came in with a score of even from round 1, and here's Jacob Gonzales, and this is my first time ever seeing or meeting or filming Jacob. Yeah. Going with the Sky Heiser. Oh,
wow.
That's a big skip afterwards. You know a little something about Jacob?
Yeah, he's from Huntington Beach. Definitely played with him a lot in the past when I was living in California, obviously born and raised out there. Very solid player, but he found himself on the lead card, so let's see what he's got. Oh, draining a sweet putt. Probably just outside the circle. Great way to start round 2. Definitely get that confidence going.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, such different conditions from the day before. Have you fully mentally adjusted, thinking about your aiming points? Yesterday, we saw people laying up from inside the circle. Today, going to be a different story.
Yeah, it was much easier to kind of think and visualize your shots. AJ connecting on a great birdie putt. Stepping up to round 2 after the conditions we had, it's a little tough to kind of regain that confidence. So it's good to see these guys starting off good.
Fair birdies. Barela's trying to match that.
And relatively tap in now that we're in these calm conditions.
Yeah. Easy putt, and these guys taking advantage of hole 1. Just barely get over. Hammes was short by a few feet, and he taps in. Star frame. I feel like that's more birdies than I saw all of yesterday.
We're flipping the script. A complete 180 from yesterday, and it's nice to see. It's a little refreshing, and I guarantee there will be more of that coming in this round.
Looking forward to it. Here's hole 2. This used to really kind of the staple here was the hanging basket, and this year we're finding one that's actually mounted in the ground.
Yeah, they decided to actually trim the tree this year. It was hanging pretty low, so I'm actually happy to see it kind of change. I'm sure they'll re-implement the hanging basket once the tree grows in a little more, but very tough hole. Dead headwind. You got the OB left, you got OB right, and Anthony Barela, he's pushing the OB. He needs that to sit down. Oh, just staying safe. Probably just at the edge of circle or outside. Definitely a good putt for him to convert the birdie.
Yeah, not often do I see something like that flip up for, oh no, and it hits the light pole and then it circles back to the OB and it lands just a few inches short of the out of bounds. So he's going to be safe, but so rare to see something flip up like that on Adam and turn over for him.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that was a force out of his hand. He predominantly throws forces forehand, and it's very rare that he has a force that'll flip over like that. AJ throwing, this has got to be his Ballista Pro, and that is a great shot. Nice S-turn all the way to the basket, just riding that OB. Well executed. It looks like Jake, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, this is a great shot, except for he's
Wow.
got too much mustard
Oh
on
my
it.
goodness. That is so hard to do, Terry.
Yeah, to go that far past on top of it, and it looked like it was a good line. Maybe he was going to ring up the basket, but it carried deep. He'll have to see if he can make a circle's edge putt for the par. Here's Hamas, who was inbounds, looking for a long birdie.
Oh, what a great bid. I'm actually quite surprised he ran that.
Knowing Hamas and his long range stuff, and knowing we don't have the conditions we had yesterday, I'm not as surprised. He's definitely an aggressive putter.
Jacob, a little timid on the putt. I feel like he's going to pick it up a little more in this round. But that right there, easy par.
Actually, with penalty, he may have he had to bring it in. He did carry all the way into that rock bed deep. Which
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That's correct.
But AB making easy work of it. Good start for him. Back-to-back birdies. And AJ trying to do the same.
Wow, that is an excellent birdie to grab here. Definitely strokes on a lot of the field.
Yeah, and just a quick note from yesterday, something I didn't research before we did the commentary. There were exactly 0 holes at Copper Sky that played under par.
Wow.
As an average for the MPO field. Just the MPO field.
That goes to show you exactly how windy it was all day. And, everybody struggled. Nobody had it easy.
Well, and here we're on hole 3. That's normally the hole that we're flying over right now, thanks to Zach Taylor. But we're going to keep going because this is going to be almost a safari type hole. They're playing 3 to 4's basket and making this a par 4, 671 feet. Time to air things out a little bit.
Yeah, I like this change. The hole previously, hole 3, was a little easy, just a nice little turnover between the double mando. Now you have 3 mandos all the way up the fairway, 1 left, and then 2 right and left as you get farther down. This is definitely a difficult hole because you have the OB right and left with the playground and the sidewalk. So generic hyzer for all these guys on this card. Just having to miss, which AJ just barely missing that hole off the tee and getting a great skip. That's right in prime time position right there.
Yeah, you saw the little body English, though. He thought he squared up that pole, which would have made things a lot more challenging.
Yeah, this course, it has a lot of rivers in it, which, not actual rivers, but sidewalks that play as out of bounds, which can make it a little bit harder to navigate the fairways just because you're worried about dropping, hitting anything, and going straight OB. And it can get a little nervy. And Jacob looking like he early released that one.
That's pushing hard left. You see the sand jump up, and unfortunately for him, that's going to be out of bounds on the left side as I try to zoom in on the pin. And here's Adam. Oh, yeah, he really struggled with this. We got it marked in at 480 thanks to the Edge rangefinder, but he really struggled with his footing going from that higher spot on the sidewalk down, and kind of yanks that over. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, he had a chance to maybe get a skip in, but that tree hit definitely didn't help him out. AJ sitting in prime position here. This is probably, if I had to guess, somewhere around 280. Throwing his Luna, which he really loves to throw. And putting himself inside the circle, definitely easy spot to convert the birdie.
Now we're seeing a unique angle here being taken because you got to go to the right of that tree that's in frame. You see the Mando arrow right there. He had to go right of it. He could have went with a little bit of a lower line. He decided to go with more of the Spike Heiser line. And AB, what a crush.
This is not the normal drive.
Less than probably 210, maybe 220 at most to the pin.
When he looks like he pulled that, ouch, that swings out of bounds. And that's tough when you have a drive that's far down the fairway and then you tend to make a mistake on the upshot. That really hurts a little bit more than actually making the normal mistake. And Adam almost sinking it, just a little short. I'm sure he's frustrated with the score, but that was a great approach.
So after the 2 throws, this is AB to try and save the par.
Very solid putt by him.
3 for 3 on solid putts, that one being for par, but first 2 holes, no problem, and picking one up here on the third with a good putt. AB's off to a good start. You have to assume you're going to see a little distance between him and Adam by the end of this hole.
And he leaves it a little high. That's frustrating because you feel like you got enough power under it, and it just rides the wind. It was a little gusty today. Whether it was calm conditions or not, I think we still see a little residual from yesterday, and it's going to get calmer throughout the weekend for sure.
Also, off to a great start. I think that's 3 for 3 for AJ. Came into the round at even par. Just like that. Sitting at 3 down. Meanwhile, Hamas with the OB stroke is going to fall one more back, I should say, of where he was. And just like that, a little separation. I feel like just a few holes ago, we started out, they were 1 apart. Now we see a 3-stroke difference.
This is why this course is probably one of my favorite in Arizona, just because every single hole you're definitely testing your nerves and you're having to throw the disc straight. I mean, there's OB right and left literally on every single hole here. So it's going to be really fun to watch these guys navigate these really tight fairways.
Well, now here we are on hole number 4. If that tee pad looks familiar, that's because I believe Stephen Miller took a picture and it was featured on the cover of Disc Golfer magazine a few years ago. Just an absolutely iconic tee pad. I'm hanging out at the catch, and actually he pulls that wide to the right, and somehow I totally lost it in frame. It's off to the, there we go. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I'll get there, folks.
Definitely a common play for players on this hole. Pulling it right, this tree off the tee is very close to you, and you have a pretty steady headwind, which it's definitely hard to get the disc to stay left on the hyzer, which AB is showing you exactly how to do it. Wow, what a great shot. 410 feet down a hill without being able to get any flip up. It just shows how much power he really has.
Well, and I think about all the years I've been filming here, this is one of the least accessed pins that I've seen throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
Adam going way up high and trying to fight back. That'll at least give him a long look for birdie as I pan back toward the pin.
Jacob going with the flip up. He had a lot of hyzer on that shot, and it's coming in beautifully. Wow, getting a great skip. I mean, he's a little left of the pin, but being left of this pin is tough to do. I think that's a great shot.
I'm going to reiterate what I just mentioned about accessing the pin or being deep. It's just very rare because of the lane that you have to hit or the height you have to put on it. Do you see someone get all the way past this pin? So Jacob certainly impressing me in the first few holes here with some of the power that I've seen from him.
He's been playing for a long time. I started playing in 2008, and I remember seeing him at the course all the way throughout the years I've been playing.
And a little hesitation there by Adam, which I thought was interesting to see, as there's been already now twice in the first couple of holes where I feel like he's kind of pulled back from either his routine or something that was either distracting or a mental reset, so to speak.
Yeah, this is a park where it's public. There's people all around. There's sounds going on. We got playgrounds near every hole, waterfalls, you name it. So definitely not out of the question. And AB just dialed right now, connecting on a great birdie putt. That stroke's on the field. There you go, seeing the tree bristle a little bit with the wind.
Another slight reset there by Adam.
And connecting. Looks like it was a good reset. This wind was a little gusty. Like I said, it was not super calm. It was just a lot calmer than it was yesterday, so it felt like a good break.
Everything felt like a reprieve compared to yesterday.
Very, very nice par putt.
AJ moving in for his par. Huge shout out to, of course, Infinite Disc as a presenting and title sponsor here, along with the Disc Shack. I know that's a new outfit here in the Phoenix area, and Ricky Wysocki, Jen Allen, Sammy Keddington, so many of them always out there promoting and giving all the good vibes from the Disc Shack. So we appreciate it as we head over another combined hole. Normally we play to the basket that was just in frame, but we're playing all the way to the next basket. This looks beautiful, but crazy.
Yeah, this combines probably two of the hardest hole on the course and making it the hardest hole on the course, in my mind. First shot, throwing big hyzer like AB's here. You're just making sure that you land on this peninsula green. Oh, he pulls out a little left. Luckily hitting the hill and sticking. Wow, that was very fortunate for him. And then you're also throwing to a sort of peninsula with a very safe green to the left. So more often than not, you're going to try to play it safe in the second shot. Just landing it safe off the tee here is all you're looking for. Plays about 370 to that pin that you see the bag on.
And you see AJ much wider to the right, bringing that, we'll say at least that water into play for a moment, as opposed to what we saw from AB on this far left side. That's also where Hamas is tracking to and comes in with a good angle, and even with the skip, checks up. He's in bounds.
Yeah, playing the safe shot, not trying to get too aggressive over the water. It's quite easy to pull the shot right into the lake because those trees you have to get so high on, and Jacob really putting a lot of hyzer on this. Wow. Sitting in a very nice position to attack the green.
Kind of feels like two nearly identical shots should get you there.
Yes, it's
Just the second one's that much more daunting, right?
It's a little tough. I mean, that basket's really close to that water's edge, and the farther left you get and shorter you are, the tighter it gets. So you just need to make sure and put enough power on this shot, and if you land left, that's better than being right.
We see, thanks to Bushnell, 371 to the pin from where AB was.
And showing us exactly what I said. You got to push it long more than anything. He's going to have a relatively shorter birdie putt. Great shot from AJ. Got a little bit of a crazy skip and roll there. Not going to help out. He's most likely going to lay that up, but let's see what he's got.
Here's Adam. And for all my favorite European and non-American viewers, I'm going to call this 100 meter. Yeah, 100 meters. We'll call it that.
Definitely. Going the forehand. That is definitely a benefit for him, knowing that he doesn't have to carry water the entire way, and he's going to be safe almost 100% of his throw and not risking much, and he's right at the edge of the circle. Nice little safe pitch up from Jacob here. Oh, just a little high. That was an awesome bid from AJ. Living in Tucson with him, he is a great putter. I've seen him make a ton of putts outside the circle. And I can't wait to see what he's got this round. Definitely has a great start going. Full sit.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, just barely slides in. So rare to see, Adam just not connecting with anything there.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's feeling his putt very much right now. Oh, it was a good putt. I felt like that should have stuck. I mean, it was a little low, getting a crazy skip up. That's a bummer for him. He's definitely not going to be happy with that. But par, I'm going to say par is pretty good on this hole.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It averaged .44 above par on the day, so 4.44 overall as Adam, a little frustration, scoops that up. Interesting side note, he nor his caddy or anyone else went to go retrieve that putter. So if you need a new putter, It
Yeah.
might still be there. I thought about saying something like, you want me to try and get it maybe with my monopod or something, and I think his reply would have been, I don't ever want to see that putter again. So that's what I was banking on. I've been around these guys a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure now that you've said that, there's a bunch of people running to Maricopa Meadows right now.
That's quite possible. And what a beautiful, if this isn't one of the most beautiful and iconic disc golf holes in Arizona, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's a pretty generic hyzer. It's definitely the most picturesque hole on the course, but totally daunting.
So dangerous.
Yes, there's OB short, there's OB right, there's OB left, there's OB deep. It plays on a spine. The disc can do pretty much anything it wants to once it hits the ground. AB not liking this shot. It looks a little high.
Yeah, it's way high, tracking hard left and actually way out of bounds.
Wow.
On
yeah.
the road on the left-hand side. Out of frame, out of mind.
That putt he's going to have from the road is going to be tough.
Yeah, he's just going to have to try and pitch up and hopefully land on the spine there. Here's AJ hanging it out wide.
That disc needs to swing. Oh, wow. It looks like it touched in bounds and then it rolled straight into the water. That was a great shot. Just needed to swing a little bit more. It looks like he put a little too much push out on his drive. So
Jacob going up the middle.
That's gotta get lucky.
That kicks down and out of bounds. That is in the water for Jacob. Unfortunately, he's going to have to move to the water's edge and throw his third from there.
And in some ways, that shot is a little more daunting than the tee shot. Looks like he's throwing a buzz straight at the basket. Wow, chain high. That was
buzzing past the basket.
That was very close. He's gonna have a little bit of a tester coming back though, for sure.
Here's Jacob. This is his third.
Oh, and going straight into the same tree. He is not happy with that. He's going to be rethrowing from the same spot again.
This time he opts, for the spike hyzer to try and stick it up there and
totally changing his game plan.
Yeah, and tough to see, but it does stick. He's got about 30 feet or so, and he's trying to do the math there as AB is pitching up. He was a little nervous, but that did sit down for him as well, leaving him 15 feet. And now here's Jacob.
Oh, hopefully that sits down.
It finally flops over,
wow.
Yes. I've said this before as a little quick pro tip, as we're going to see Adam. My favorite way to count up your score at the end of a rough hole like this, Adam converts. That needs to sit down, and it does, is count your throws and then just add your penalties at the end, rather than like, I'm lying 2, throwing 3, or lying 6, throwing 7. I like to just count how many times did you throw the Frisbee and then add on how many penalties you got on top of that.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it
makes it easier.
Just definitely easier. I feel the same way, Terry.
Or the best way to do it is just don't get penalties. Like, I mean, and take lots of birdies.
Well, some of us don't get to have that luxury, Terry.
As AB is in for the bogey, we saw AJ save the par with his putt, and Adam saves his.
Jacob having this tap in. It looks like I can't count it yet, but he threw 1, 2, 3, and this is his 5th shot, right? After the second putt?
Yes, and truth be told, I didn't have a graphic for a 5-time bogey, so I put in quad because I didn't have a...
Got it.
Sorry.
No,
all right, we're moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Hole 7, 460 feet. This is a little bit of a rip.
Oh, yeah. This is 460 feet, OB right in front of the basket, OB right behind the basket. To stick this hole, you're going to want to push it wide right, risking that playground area as the OB and swinging it in. I generally play this for par.
I think that is a smart move, and we're going to see what this group does. But AJ's pushing that left side, and it checks up. And exactly what you said, you need to be pushing that right side and then having it check up. That's about as good as shot you could get.
Yes, that was an amazing shot by AJ. Really happy to see that he's playing pretty solid now. That pushed way left. That was OB almost the entire way. Huge error by Adam. feel like this is probably right in AB's wheelhouse.
It certainly is, but unfortunately, it's about to be in that tunnel.
Oh, he's going to be playing around.
Yeah, he will.
I don't think that's what he wants to do right now. I think he wants to be pretty focused.
No, he'd like to keep that to like the ages 6 and under over there, but big pull by Jake.
Playing to the safe left side. That is an excellent shot, getting exactly 460 feet of distance. That was awesome to see. Hopefully he can convert on that birdie putt.
So after the OB stroke, AB is just trying to get up and down, walk away with the bogey.
Oh my. And that was pretty errant, Terry. I never expected to see that. Think he was trying to run it?
He was definitely being aggressive, but I don't know. Of course, we didn't have a great vantage point as to what he was looking at and how much he pulled it to make that mistake, but not something I was expecting at all.
Adam split the railing there.
Yeah, a little rail slide. He was nervous, as he should have been, because that area, like you mentioned, in front is OB. Here's AB. Oh, that's a little bit high, and it stays in bounds, but he now still has a tester coming back.
Yeah, this hole is very difficult to get it to stick to that green just because you're so worried about the OB there behind it and short of it.
Like you said, pin high for Jake. That was a great drive. Unfortunately, doesn't convert. We'll see if AJ can give us the lone birdie here.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, he gave it a good bid. It was right about the height it needed to be, just a little low, so he can't be too angry about that.
Hole 7 played as the third most difficult hole on the entire course today, averaging 0.52 above par, and unfortunately, AB is not helping those stats. Oh, that's high left.
Yeah, he's not happy. Kicking the mini.
Oh, that is going to be, I think, a 6-pack for AB.
And tightening it up a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. And there was just 4 birdies out of the entire MPO field here today on this hole. So shout out to those guys. But birdies certainly hard to come by for the third most difficult hole on the course.
Yeah, Andrew Sharp on my card, he definitely threw it right up to the pin, probably about 15 feet away. It was an incredible drive. I just wanted to shout him out. Great shot, Andrew.
As we said, everyone par or worse. Fortunately, we're going to head over hole number 8, 358 feet. I feel like this hole is very similar to a handful of the holes out on this course, with that left side berm, just really swinging something from right to left and controlling it so it doesn't get a skip and then find the OB sidewalk.
Yeah, we kind of exit the gauntlet here, and now we're kind of getting into Birdie Alley. So 358 feet, dead straight. All you have to really avoid is the trees on the right and not skip too far left. The hill definitely helps out when you're throwing into it. So this is almost a must get for the open field.
It's a good looking shot by AJ, a little bit low, but for the most part online, what you're trying to do. See if Jake can do the same. He needs that to hook up a little at the end, catch some edge.
And this was a headwind shot, so getting past the basket's great. It makes it a tailwind putt, which is what you're looking for almost every time. This needs to miss that tree. Just inside of it. Wow.
Yeah, but again, doesn't quite get the edge that, him and Jacob were looking for. If it would have just come in with a little bit more angle, I feel like that would have skipped a few times right up to the pin.
Lots of power from AB. That I'm almost going to guarantee that was a Firebird or some sort of Invictus. And to see that stand up that way, I'm in envy of his power.
I was thinking that might be a T-Bird, but
Quite possibly.
either way, here's AJ for a long birdie bid just off the front of the cage. You mentioned Jake went a little bit long. This is a good angle at the basket.
Oh, that was a lot of change, Terry.
Oh, a little bit high and left, but it looked like it could have pulled it in. That one was a little high and left, and it definitely pulled it in, but Hamas will collect the birdie and not sweat it.
Yeah, he's finding his groove. Great putt.
AB for the birdie after going just a bit long.
You definitely don't want to be missing putts that short, especially when you're in the position he's in.
Yeah, we see how tight it is between him and Adam, and AJ's out in front of both of them right now at his 3 under. Not a lot of fireworks here. I mean, we've seen a few birdies pick up. AJ was off to a great start, but we're going to have to take advantage of this birdie alley you speak of. Here's hole 9 and another combo hole.
Yeah, I'm going to retract my statement and say that we've now exited Birdie Alley.
Okay.
And
it was very short-lived.
Very short-lived. Maricopa Meadows is not the easiest course. Hole 9, combined hole, par 4. Really what the players are looking to do here is just split the gap and not go too far right, too far left. Similar to a lot of the holes out here. Adam turning it over nicely. The OB is right at the top of that hill, and he kicks. Looks like it landed safe. But there's also a mandatory to the right there. Tree blocking the houses just so we don't go over any neighbor's walls or anything. So in my mind, this gap, you have to get outside the gap, past the trees, into the open field to have any look at a birdie here.
And AJ's does filter over to the right and then actually comes behind the backside of the Mando tree. So he does land, so to speak, lands in bounds, but he had gone around the Mando tree up into the right, which is just a crazy shot.
Oh, Jacob doing exactly what I'm talking about. That is a picture-perfect drive off the tee. He is in a great position to attack for the birdie. That's looking a little too turnt, Terry.
Turned up for what? OB. That's what it's turned up for.
Yeah, say what?
AB. Riding the struggle bus just a little bit right now. You can sense a little frustration. He's got a really goofy stance here, and I love this line.
Playing the hillside. That needs to sit.
Just too sharp.
So double OB. He's now going to have that putt for 5.
See, and that's why I don't go to the workout centers or do any of those. They get you into trouble over there. Those little workout, whatever they are.
Yeah, it's like almost like you have a push-up station, you have a sit-up
who's got
station,
time
crunches.
For that? Yeah,
I mean,
they just give you bogeys.
We're trying to throw frisbees here.
So after missing the Mando, AJ actually goes here. This is what I believe is considered the drop zone for the Mando. He did call it provisional because there was some uncertainty.
Yeah, it did show it on the T sign. I actually confirmed with the card in front of us that this was the drop zone. It's a little favorable for missing that Mando, but this hole was definitely hard enough, and any benefit you can get will help you out. Jacob going spike. Heiser playing with that wind too much. That needs to get down as well. And fortunately coming up safe. He was trying to work it out, but
some backspin there that somehow worked out. There's some kids off to the right. I don't know if they were paintballing or
I actually can confirm they were playing cops and robbers.
I was gonna say it was a little LARPing action. We've seen some of that during some tournaments.
They had Nerf guns and they were they were going all out. AJ to save his par here. Oh, just off the top.
Little story about the grass out here as we're seeing Jake get ready for there's a birdie bid.
Great birdie.
Huge birdie. This grass is actually in some capacity painted.
Yeah, it surprised me quite a bit. I finished the round today. About halfway through it, you can tell that your shoes were getting a little green. And even your disc onto your hands, it was making your hands green, which was a little crazy because you're not really normalized to that on normal courses. Usually it's either grass or no grass. And somehow they like to make it look pretty out here for the homeowners association in Maricopa.
Yeah, they were talking about normally seeding and watering and everything they normally do to make sure that it's green and looks beautiful, but they went a different route this year, and I guess this is a pretty common industry standard practice. So, yeah, everyone's shoes and feet and hands were a little bit green.
As you're driving by in your car, it looks great, but as you're playing disc golf, it's a little wonky.
Well, we're going to close out here on hole 10. This will be our front half coverage. Hopefully a birdie look at 294. This is one of my favorite holes to watch year after year. You have the OB on the right. You also have, of course, OB on the left. And this is a great play by Jake, playing a super overstable. That might be a Firebird or something of that nature that has it just flex right back to the pin. He's got a birdie look.
Yeah, and he was risking. There's some OB just to the left of the pin here. It's one of those little drainage culverts, and that's all you really have to contest to, that and the OB on the right. Adam's pushing that, but hits the curb, keeps it safe. He's going to have a circle putt for his birdie.
Well, bank shot there for Hamas. Yeah, that's got the nose up.
AJ's not liking that and needs to get, and just sailing OB. He's going to have just inside the circle putt to save his par. Definitely this is a must get for the open field just because it is so short. Great skip from AB, sliding down the hill. That's going to be a tap in for him.
See if he can get things going. He's sitting 2 over on the round. Adam sits at 1 over for the round.
Just a little wide right.
And as we start to close out, of course, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all the feedback, all of the likes, shares, subscribes, all that stuff that you guys have been doing. We're so excited to be bringing you the coverage here of the Infinite Disc Maricopa Open presented by the Disc Shack. Adam can't convert.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, thank you, Terry, for having me. I'm really appreciative to be commentating on this video. This is the season opener, and I get to see a lot of my good buddies and friends on tour for the first time, and it's almost like that crazy, giddy, exciting moment that you have like your first day of school after summer, So
it's been a great off season for some that have taken one. I've been trying to grind out as many events as we can, and Maricopa has been on my list for the last 5 or 6 years. And you guys are seeing why. Beautiful place to be. So much great golf. A lot of great people. Thanks to Sam and Chuck putting on the event for this PDGA event here in the early goings of our 2022 season. We're going to close things out. For Nick Noon, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you when you join us as we head into the back 9 at the Maricopa Open, round 2.